And we're underway here in week 3. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Jackson options out left. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Lamar Jackson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Pulls it in at the 13. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. On 1st and 10, here's Lance. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Keon Crossan. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. So they gave up the big play on the touchdown in the first drive, Charles, and now they were looking for a big play of their own. Instead, they throw the interception.
And, Brandon, they came right out and went for it, trying to push the ball downfield. But remember, the other side ran a few plays before their big one, so they got a little impatient there, and it cost them.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Here's Jackson to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 46. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. Takes it at the 7. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard strike. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. He'll field this at the 5. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. He takes this for 3 to the 29. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll start with Hunt on the ground, and he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. On 2nd and 11 now, Lance. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
All right, I need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. And they will rally and stop him short of the 1st down. They get him to the ground at the 26. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. This is taken at the 15. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Mark that down as an 85-yard punt return. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. Pulls it in at the 13. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. They run right side with Hunt. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Lance looking to throw it. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Throwing is Lance on 3rd down. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Miami. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. To throw is Jackson. And this one too low.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
This offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep, and he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. Not too shabby here. This will skip out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've tried to get it to Anderson, but it's intercepted. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. On 3rd down they go Montgomery. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, Charles, I think you'd have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, Bean, the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
That sack by Tremaine Edmonds.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Taken in at the 22.
The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And with great starting field position and 1 timeout in their pocket, they could still come away with points here in the late going. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson being chased out left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It's J.O.K. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in there for the sack. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Jackson. Catch is made by Hardman. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the 1st down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head coach, and probably his agent too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. The kick by Fairbairn is good. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. From the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Looking to throw again on second down. Lance. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Lance. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. The pickup there, 5 yards. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run again with Hunt. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Lance. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Robbie Anderson. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Dolphins get a bit closer. Lance going to try to throw for this. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Christian Harris. He's at the 50.
Well, there's some excitement, right? Go for 2, and instead it gets picked off. And how about the return? Give him a lot of credit, though, for not giving up after the play.
Yeah, the troops rallied.
Exactly, and getting back there and making the tackle and not giving up 2 points themselves.
I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. And the Broncos are going to get the football. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Well, one thing we certainly know, he likes to take those risks deep downfield during games, coverage or not. The coverage was there on that one. No catch, but he's also fortunate. No turnover either.
2nd and 10 now. 3rd quarter action in Denver.
Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. On 3rd down, Jackson. That's caught right side by Mims. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now a throw here, hauled in, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves. Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
They go play action now. Jackson. And he's got his man on the out route. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Eric Ebron, a 5-yard touchdown, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is now 24. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
Taken from about the 12. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Well, this is where the mile-high air really starts to affect an opposing offense. Guys moving a bit slowly. Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lance. That'll be taken in by Anderson. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. The offense on 3rd down, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Steps away. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Desperation time here. Lance. Open man is Fortson. He's got it. And he will have a Dolphins first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Now Lance again. Now Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Broncos are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against him throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock.
And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Now Jackson. He's got his man. That's Hardman.
There he goes left side. And all the way home for a Broncos score.
Mecole Hardman.
67 yards.
And the Broncos look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
Velus Jones now from his end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things.
That his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Darius Slay with a pick.
And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
40 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice, consistent gain.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Running with Montgomery from the pistol. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in.
And now here is another interception.
And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it.
And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other.
A leap, and he's got it. He got it.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Now, this was a blowout supported by both sides of the ball today, Charles. It would be easy to look at the offense and say, man, they were clicking, and they were, but don't forget about the effort by this defense as well.
Yeah, they weren't going to let up just because the lead was saved. They wanted to play as big a part in this game as their offense did in making this blowout. They needed to be noticed as well, and they played accordingly.
So for Denver, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Buffalo Bills next week. Meanwhile, for Miami, they'll fall to 1-2, and they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.